Blessed love and greetings. I am Prophet Greg from the Ethiopia Diaspora Union Millennium Council, aka also known as the Rastafari Millennium Council. So we were collaborating with the Spanish Town House of the Nyabingi to construct a letter to the Most Honorable Prime Minister in regards to the recent atrocity committed against the trimming of Sister Nzinga King. The thing is, this is not the only current incident that has gone into the courts right now. Previous before this latest episode and incident, there was an ancient, a stalwart by the name of Bingi Irie Lions, ancient Bingi Irie Lions, who is the ambassador at large for the Rastafari Millennium Council, who made even sojourns into the second mission into Africa, visiting in 2009 Ghana, South Africa, and Ethiopia to look at twinning the heritage of Rastafari and linking into the Ethiopian royal culture. Hence, the twinning and the location of the second connectivity is the Rastafari Pinnacle Heritage Site that is located in Seville. So that has gone through and established in 2013. However, Bingi Irie Lions suffered a stroke, and while seeking treatment in the Linstead Hospital, while he is unable to defend himself, they held him down and shaved off his precepts. This is another current court case, and eventually, because of the trauma that he went through at his age, he relapsed and transitioned. So this is another incident. It is also tied into the first recent incident that is with the Virgo family, where their daughter was disallowed to go into the Kensington Primary School by the former principal because she has dreadlocks based on her African culture. She's not a Rastafari, but based on the African traditional, she has embraced the locks as a part of her identity. There's an injunction that has caused her to go into the school for I believe it's 2 years, pending an appeal to the appeal court. So that is also a matter. So you have a situation on hand. As we know, we are protesting currently because the incident that happened to Sister Nzinga was done at this police station at Four Pass. But you cannot have a situation where there's an apology, and this is what we had stated to the Honorable Prime Minister. You cannot be apologizing for the Coral Garden massacre that took place in 1963, and at the same time there remains on the laws and the books of the legislation atrocities that empower the act to continue. And we're speaking about the Education Act that states the barring of such Afrocentric traditional outlook to be involved or attended the education system. Because if we have another incident, just to add a fourth one, that in I think it's Manning's High School, if I may quote it now, there is a student that was not allowed to wear, the China bomb, Bantu. So that is another incident. So you have a spectrum within the authority or the levels of representation within the governance and the society in law, that you not only have the educational system, you not only have the police station, but you also have the hospital that is impeaching the rights of Rastafari by doing this sort of atrocity to a sacred vow. It's a sacred vow, and one only has to read Psalms 76 for that fulfillment of the sacred vow, when it identifies the King or the Almighty that shall trod out of Judah. But also verse 11 speak about the vow and pay unto the Lord the Almighty, and let them all round about and bring present unto him who are to be feared. And that is translated in English to be Rastafari, the one who is to be feared. So that vow that is designated even from the Psalm 76 was a prophetic fulfillment which Rastafari has maintained and done from the 1930s onward. So we are demanding legislative change where this is concerned, because these three incidents, as I said, are currently in the courts. And there is a situation where there is an appeal and an objection to the appeal coming from the very government lawyers that is empowering the same act of the Education Act. So I'm going to summarize, because I'm going to leave a copy of this letter, what we had presented to the Prime Minister, because you're talking about an incident that began to impact the Rastafari community from as early as 1937, where there was the actually chief executive of the island wrote to His Excellency Sir Edward Denham in 1937 complaining about a Rastafari cult. A Rastafari cult. And to this day we are in August the 10th, 2021, and they are still inflicting, violating human rights, the fundamental human rights of an indigenous group. There's a practice notice because we have agitated and put forward these indigenous protocols to protect indigenous groups. There's a practice notice issued at Jamaica Intellectual Property Rights Office that was issued in 2012 to protect both the Maroons and Rastafari. Subsequent to that, they have extended it now to our indigenous rights policy in 2017. So it begs to ask, how come the Supreme Court literally is delinked from all these activism to empower and protect indigenous Afrocentric groups in Jamaica, and the Supreme Court is detached from these fundamental development to protect cultures of Afrocentric background? So these are the questions, and the Supreme Court has the authority to effect change by either recommendation or by test case. So this is a test case that they have empowered to remove these abusive laws against Afrocentric groups in Jamaica. And I will just conclude, so you know, say things going through. What we are requesting, most Honorable Prime Minister, we recommend your immediate intervention through the powers of the Office of the Prime Minister to effectuate an Afrocentric Commission to research the connected changes in legislation and call for a public bill, Human Rights Violation and Race Discrimination Act, to enforce the current developments to protect indigenous rights of community against blatant crimes of human rights violation. So we conclude with that, and we are expecting a response from the Prime Minister, who has expressed his disgust that in the 21st century, 2021, there are still these sort of incidences happening for Rastafari community. But he is the Prime Minister, and he has the power to effectuate legislation to remove these sort of things from the Constitution and empower the Supreme Court to act and make it become a criminal offense to victimize and continue to abuse Rastafari and Afrocentric groups who have as their sacred tradition and even their ancient tradition to look and sprout the dreadlock as an African identity, as how it has been established from the books of the Bible. We're talking about books like Numbers chapter 6 that speak about the Nazarite vow. We talk about books of Deuteronomy, even the first one, Exodus and Genesis, that speak about the tradition of ancient Israel, how they sports their locks. Chapter 19, chapter 21, in the book of Exodus that has these laws. So it's a tradition of the Black House of Israel, the original Israelite, that connects to the Emperor Haile Selassie I, who is the 225th descended monarch from King Solomon, King David, coming forward to this time. So it is there. The Psalm 76 declares it. It has manifested. So why are we so ignorant and so abusive of human rights in this 2021? So I give thanks, and I'm hoping that this press can carry forth the message of these sort of changes of legislation that comes with an apology It has to come with an apology, or else all what they have presented in Parliament for an apology, it is mere lip service. It has nothing to do with change, because to effectuate the change, you change the legislation and make this a criminal offense where violation of human rights is concerned. Bingi Iron Lion died, and that is still in the courts. I do give thanks. Blessed Lord.
Thank you for checking us out on Good News Jamaica TV for content that informs, inspires, and transforms. Please like, share, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more positive Jamaica content. Walk good.